Do you have a Beta 300RR with the Sachs forks and they're just not doing it for you? Racetech Gold Valve has a kit for you, and we're going to tell you all about it. I have both the 430RR Race Edition and the 300RR. The 430 has KYB forks, but the 300RR comes with the Sachs forks. My first race with the 300RR with the Sachs forks was at the GNCC John Penton. Make sure you go to Trail Seeker Adventures on YouTube and check that video out. I talk about the suspension and the issues I'm having with it on that video. But basically, if you have a Beta 300RR non-race edition, you're going to have the Sachs forks. And if you're just going to trail ride, you're probably going to be okay with it. But if you start getting out on the trail, or if you're starting to get a little faster on some of the roads such as this, you're going to need to get something done with those front forks. And the Racetech Gold Valve has a kit for you. Racetech has not helped me at all. This is my experience. I have used Racetech many times in the past, and I just want to bring this information to you. Let's go to Mike Weimer, my suspension guy. He's going to tell us all about it. All right, so I'm here at Mike Weimer's. Mike, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Mike is my suspension guy. I started doing the Racetech Gold Valve system on my RMZ 450. My first kit that I got, I did myself. It took me most of the day to do it, but I was able to do it. But the Beta 430 and the Beta 300 has the Sachs shock, but the RR version, not the race version, but the RR version comes with the Sachs forks. I was having problems with it. It felt really good at low speeds, but on high speeds coming across the field, it would blow through the stroke, and it wasn't very comfortable at all. I always used Racetech, and I brought it up to Mike, and I'll let Mike explain how this fork works and why it doesn't work in its stock form, and what the Racetech Gold Valve can do for it.
Well, Kenny, basically these are the Sachs open chamber ZF forks and the ZF shock. The forks on this bike, they use one leg as compression and one leg as rebound. And what this kit does, it adds different mid-valve compression base volts to give you adjustment on both ends of the fork. So basically what it's doing is it converts both forks to compression and both forks to rebound. The Racetech valves give you a little better flow. The stacks that they give you to work with on this will they just give you more control of your valving through the stroke. And these are a little bit more technical kits to put in just in your normal Racetech kit. You're drilling relief holes, you're doing all kinds of neat things in there that if you're not very familiar with what you're doing, can cost you some money if you mess them up.
So you're saying you wouldn't recommend a do-it-yourselfer to attempt to do this unless they're pretty familiar with fork repair?
Yeah, I would. If it was me, I would hesitate to do this if you haven't done lots and lots of forks and understand what you're doing inside there. The ZF shock's not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. For a Sachs shock, it's not much different than anything else.
You just have to have the nitrogen gas.
You just need to be able to charge them, get them bled out correctly, and do the things that a lot of people typically don't have those tools on their workbench.
That's why I brought it up to you. My first Suzuki, like I said, I did the first forks on the Showas, but then it came to, on my 2018, they made a kit for that new shock that they had, and that's why I brought it up, and you've been doing it ever since. And I've been really impressed with the Racetech Gold Valve setup. Basically, explain how that works as far as, like, I purchased it and brought the kit to you, but then you as a tech, what did you have to do in order to get the right specs?
Well, what it comes with a code. When you get that from Racetech, they give you a code. You have to log into their website, and it'll give you the build specs for the shim stacks. It'll give you, if you need to, there are bleed holes that need to be drilled in certain sections of the pistons, things like that. It gives you the fluid height. It gives you all the little specs that you need to set it up for your weight and your speed as to what you're doing.
So you go in and you basically tell Racetech what type of rider you are, what skill level, what type of riding you're going to do, your weight, and then it automatically comes up with the shim stack that is best suited for you.
Correct. And the type of riding you're doing. Obviously, you would set this bike you want to set up for some hard enduro, tight single track type stuff. So that stack is going to be different than what you would use on your GNCC high speed stuff, and or if you want to go ride a weekend of motocross or something like that. Sprint enduros, the field test, it might not be the best for the field test, but it is specific to what you want to ride, and that's the thing about Racetech's valving setups. They're pretty good about giving that information out if you pay for it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate all your help. I see here we got some parts. Basically, what we do on this kit is you take the plugs out of the bottom. I don't even know if that's really what you're calling them, but what they call them. But you take the plug out and you actually get clickers for your compression. It goes on the bottom and your rebounds on top. Maybe pick one of those up there and show them the...
Yeah, what happens is you change your compression base bolts to this, which gives you an adjustment for compression. Where these were just blanked off. What you got through your valving on these is just what you had. There's no adjustments that can be made to that. So that itself, just adding an adjuster to the compression side is huge as to being able to tailor these forks to work with what the rider wants to feel on the track.
So in the original setup, the way it worked is you had compression on one side, on the clicker on top.
Correct.
And then you had rebound on the other side. But now both of these are rebound, and then your clickers on the bottom are your compression.
And what happens is typically the compression fork has a series of holes in the top part of the fork that when you fork rebounds, it pulls the fluid through those holes instead of running it through the valving. And by doing that, it takes away the rebound on that particular fork. And then also with not having a compression adjuster here, the rebounding on these, it just goes through a blow off, and you really don't have much valving control at all on that particular fork the way it's set up.
Awesome. So basically, if somebody was wanting to get this same kit done, they do make the same kit for a Husky. That's one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and go with the gold valve. They're a little pricey. It's about $500 for the kit just for the front forks. You're close to $200 for the valving kit for the rear shock. They do make this kit for different models. What other models would have that same setup?
I believe most of your RR version betas would have that. I know the 125 RR has it. Not exactly sure if the 250s, I would think they probably also have that same setup.
Yeah, the RR versions are definitely the ones that comes with a Sachs. But as far as like a Husky or a KTM,
there are other forks that are compression and rebound controlled. Yeah, some of the KTM did that back a few years back. Obviously, there's some Japanese versions that also do that, but Racetech, I'm sure, sells setups to switch those over, but they're probably a little differently because most of those are twin chamber types forks.
Awesome. All right. So if they wanted to get a hold of you, we're talking about the beta. My bike is a 2020 beta 300RR non-race version. The race version comes with the KYB. But if they're interested in getting a hold of you, if they're local, obviously they can contact you. You got a number for that?
Yeah. If anybody's interested in getting anything done or race tech stuff installed, my number's 301-616-8512. You can look me up on Messenger under Mike Weimer. And Facebook's also the same thing. I do put things out from time to time on the marketplace and a few things, just throwing the advertisement out there. So I'm usually pretty busy, but I can get you in here and get you out as quick as I can get the parts in here most times.
So if they're not local, they could still contact you, and they could ship it to you. And
absolutely, and I usually use PayPal. Sometimes I can use Apple Pay, but typically I use PayPal. It's just simple. For us old guys, that's what we use.
Yeah, I still do AOL, so you know how old I am.
Yeah.
Well, I sure appreciate it. I'm anxious to get this on the bike and go out and see how much better it feels. The bike's awesome, but that is definitely one of the weak spots on the RR. If you're just out trail riding, you probably don't need it. But if you're wanting to get into the racing situation, I would hope that this Race Tech kit will do the trick. So here's the part number. This is for their front forks on the 2020 Beta RR, and this is for the rear shock. And anything else, Mike?
No, we just wish good luck to the Trail Seekers people, and want to see them out front every day if we can, unless we show up.
Yeah, that's happened a few times. We've raced against each other, but I sure appreciate your help. You're a racer, and you know what it takes to get up to the front of the field, and I appreciate your little secrets here and there.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks. Well, made it back to the garage. I'm anxious to get these things on the bike. If you're interested in Race Tech, make sure you check out, just Google Race Tech, and there's a website. You can go in and tell them what type of bike you have and what you like to ride, and they'll get one set up for you. One good thing about the Beta, the shock on the rear is very easy. You basically only have to take one bolt on the bottom and the bolt on the top, and it's able to slide right out past your number plate. That's one thing I have learned about Beta. They do make the bike easy to work on. So after I got it all put back together, it's time to get out and see how much better these forks are going to be. I unloaded the bike, took it out on the trail, and it was no time at all. I found out that, man, what a difference it made. I highly recommend you try the Race Tech if you have the RR version with the Sachs forks. The shock, I never really noticed that big a difference. I'm not 100% sure whether or not that was worth the money, but I can definitely tell you the front forks definitely made a difference. Not only can you have more adjustment, but it doesn't bottom out. And now it's time to get it out on the track for the first time and see how she feels. I throw on the helmet at the Mountain State Hare Scramble round 2, jump on my Beta, and away we go. We also have a video on this race, make sure you check it out, but we normally bring the camera to a race event or a ride park, that way we show you what it's all about. In this video, we're talking about the Race Tech Gold Valve. I hope this has been beneficial to you. If you have a Beta 300RR or any other RR versions, before I did the Race Tech Gold Valve, I checked and there was absolutely nothing on the YouTube channels for the Beta suspension Sachs forks, but I recommend you try them out. I did have to adjust the fork spring adjustment. The Beta has a adjuster for the spring tension. I had to go a little harder on that, and I had to add a little oil to the forks. But other than that, I highly recommend the gold valve for your Sachs forks. As far as the rear shock, I'm not real sure whether or not the gold valve will help that as much. I'm still having problems with the Sachs shock. The longer the race goes, the worse it felt. I bought the extended bladder. I'm going to try that out, and hopefully that will help. Make sure you like and subscribe to our videos. You can push the subscribe button here in the middle of the page, or check out another one of our videos. Thanks for watching.